Is our health and success in life affected by our human relations? Murdo MacDonald-Bayne. In my last letter to you, we saw the quality in personality that attracts, and this is one of the links in the chain of successful living. Now we have to understand the law of our thought action, otherwise we will be lost in our reaction to people and things, and in this way we lose the power of constructive thought, which is our true creative power. To understand this thoroughly, I will refer to my last letter. I told you the infinite self is the only self there is. There can be no other, being infinite. Therefore the infinite self must create everything within himself. Therefore, we live and move and have our being in him. We see then that the infinite self must be in you and me, and is the creative power we have, made in his image and likeness. Science has proved that electricity in its fluidic state is everywhere in the form of the ether of space. We therefore live and move in a sea of energy which we are continually absorbing and discharging again in the form of thought or directed energy to be used for any purpose we please. In a similar way, this energy is absorbed from the atmosphere by the generating station and then discharged in the form of a force we call electricity, which we can also use in any way we please. When we set in motion a thought, little do we realize that we have set in motion a current of life into action, for we are the generators for this force we call thought. Now, as we have seen that the universal self is the only self, this self must be individualized in us. Jesus gives us the key to this when he says, "Know ye not I am in the Father, and the Father is in me." Thought therefore originates in the self and is the means of self-expression. If our thoughts originate in reaction to the external coupled with the emotions of fear, anxiety, jealousy, anger, etc., our self-expression becomes complex and complicated. These feelings surround our thought, and gather together the particles of energy, which often become a solid mass of matter. Matter being energy modified, the same substance changes its form accordingly. Through our brain and nervous system we express our feelings, and those habits we form become the pattern we express, and not knowing the cause in our anxiety we set in motion the vicious circle, adding coal to the fire we ourselves kindle. I and the Father are one is the most powerful thought in existence when thoroughly understood. The mind is the vehicle of expression, and with this inner realization there is a continuous automatic flow of pure thought flowing out towards people and things. Besides this, there is an accumulated store of energy stored up in the soul and body which attracts more and more of the same energy from the universal pool of life. When this state exists, our thoughts are charged with this energy and have the desired effect on people and things. Jesus never forgot his relationship to the Father, therefore he was always surcharged with this universal life force. His words, "It is the Father that does the work," reveals this wonderful truth. We also saw in our last letter how one who had quality in personality attracted love, friends, success, health, etc. Surely then a knowledge of the operation underlying human relationship is of the greatest importance to all. Thou shalt then have thy delight in the Almighty, and shalt lift up thy face unto God. Job 22:26. This is the inner confidence that nothing can shake, no matter what the outer may be like. The real creative power of the self lies in the realization of the greater self. I can of mine own self do nothing, John 5:30. When this truth is known, there is no need to be aggressive and possessive. Never argue with ignorance, that is the fool's paradise. You must stand behind the law of cause and effect and see its action. When you understand the cause, you will also understand the effect. Thus you are free from reaction to things and people, and quickly understand the cause of the effect of which others are ignorantly afraid. These are pertinent questions and require appropriate answers. Are you morbid and gloomy? Are you a drag upon the other person's happiness? Are you always asking others to hold you up? Do you say you are misunderstood? Are you full of grievances? Are you a grumbler? Do you always seek flattery and are affected if you do not get it? Unless you know whether or not you are doing these things, you can never deal with them properly. One must be honest with oneself and not merely skim the surface. These emotional habit patterns are deeply rooted in the mind, brain, and nervous system, but they can be eliminated by divine reasoning and proper relaxation of brain and body. It is unwise for you to criticize such a person, for he is really sick through ignorance of the law of cause and effect. Criticism to be of any value should be turned first against the self. Always apply this rule. It will help you to overcome your own weaknesses. This is always a safeguard against negative reaction in human relations. We must not lose that quiet confidence gained through understanding that the Father and I are one. Mentally transfer this feeling of peace and quiet, and you will be showing a greater success to others as well as strengthening yourself. A strong person does not vent his grievances, nor does he bluster or threaten. He leaves that to the weak who wish to be thought strong. When true understanding comes, you have power to overcome all circumstances. Some admit failure from the beginning. They say, "It cannot be done." By themselves they can do nothing, but with God all things are possible. When this is thoroughly understood, your condition becomes the starting point for positive action. Your liabilities become your assets. You must use this type of thinking with the spirit of the true presence. It offers unlimited possibilities more valuable than any previous experience has led you to imagine. A new world will open before you, giving up its hidden secrets willingly. We can profit by others' successes and failures, but fundamentally we must train ourselves to use our own mental equipment freed from all outside influences. This new education can only be acquired by becoming conscious of our mental equipment and of that which is hindering us from using it effectively and efficiently. We cannot get this knowledge via conventional education and with a mind dominated by habit and precedent or bias through conformity, for it is entirely foreign to the habitual type of thinking. It is this new type of thinking and understanding that is capable of carrying forward all the results of the past into a scheme of life which will establish a new day for all. The world offers glorious opportunities to make a better and more enlightened world in which to live, and with it will come a new kind of education for the unfolding of a material world to fit the new knowledge and understanding of our human relations. There is but one God, one principle of being, one mode of action, one true reason based upon truth, one in all and all in one. Benediction. Through the darkness of ignorance and error we search in vain for happiness. With our feet on the path of selfishness we become bogged in the marsh of disillusionment. The deceiving element of desire leads us to be smothered in the bog of possessiveness. O Divine One, light our path with thy true torch of progress, revealing our true relationship to one another. Thy beacon light shines on the rock of truth so that we may reach thy everlasting shore of peace and plenty through our human relationship. My peace and love remain with you. Yours sincerely, 𝗦 MacDonald-Bayne.